There are 55 bills on Governor Mark Gordon's desk for his consideration after the close of the 2024 legislative session Friday. A Grable mother is accused of nearly starving her 4-year-old to death. And 3 Wyoming authors are awarded Western writing's highest honor. We'll take a look at these stories and more today from Wyoming's largest news organization. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily. Governor Mark Gordon has some important decisions to make over the next couple of weeks that could dramatically change how people work and live in Wyoming. Sitting on his desk are as many as 55 bills recently passed during the 2024 legislative session, which ended Friday. That's according to Cowboy State Daily's Leo Wolfson.
Some of the most prominent of these bills is the $10.6 billion biennial budget. Another bill would regulate and put more restrictions on abortions in Wyoming, which are still legal, while an ongoing court case is pending. Another bill would get rid of gun-free zones, and there are 4 big property tax bills on his desk.
Gordon has until March 23rd to sign all of the bills, let them pass into law without his signature, or veto them. There are 8 communities vying to be the home of a $10 million world-class shooting complex in Wyoming, a project that's intended to rival huge shooting complexes in neighboring states such as Colorado and be the sort of place that could attract world-class professional shooting matches. The Wyoming Shooting Complex Task Force put out a call for letters of interest, and 8 communities responded by the March 1st deadline. But as Cowboy State Daily's Mark Hines reports, there are specific criteria a community must meet to be considered.
They'd like to have something that was relatively close to an airport for the international traffic. You're going to want to have lodging, dining, infrastructure there in place for these big crowds of people that are going to show up for these events. There's big money in these things. They can draw thousands and thousands of people into community with a lot of money.
The locations that have submitted letters of interest to host the shooting complex are Campbell County, Natrona County, Park County, Cheyenne, Fremont County, Hot Springs County, Uintah County, and Guernsey. And Megan Park probably wasn't expecting to receive a life-changing award and large chunk of change when she arrived for work as usual for her job as assistant principal at Gannett Peak Elementary in Lander on Tuesday morning. But Cowboy State Daily's Ellen Fike reports that when Park walked into a school-wide assembly, it was just the beginning of the surprise of a lifetime when she was announced as the newest Milen Educator Award recipient for Wyoming.
The Milen Family Foundation, I believe is what they're called. They're pretty passionate about education and rewarding educators who are breaking barriers, who are doing things to lift up their fellow educators, to make their schools a better place for their students.
In addition to the cash prize, Park will receive an all-expense-paid trip to the Milen Educator Awards Forum in Los Angeles this summer. I'll be back with more news right after this.
3 Crown Petroleum is a private oil and gas company that drills oil wells in Wyoming, adjacent states, and internationally. 3 Crown is actively looking to lease minerals for drilling or to buy minerals, royalty, or existing production within Wyoming. To learn more about 3 Crown, call or text Howard Cooper at 970-756-4747. Again, call or text Howard Cooper at 3 Crown Petroleum, 970-756-4747.
A Grable woman faces up to 25 years in prison on claims she starved her 4-year-old son to such a degree that he suffered brain damage and nearly died. When Tammy Hannon took her unresponsive son to the emergency room February 15th, she said he'd been playing the day before and hit his head. But Cowboy State Daily's Claire McFarland reports that the boy weighed just 18 pounds, which is normal weight for an 8-month-old baby, not a 4-year-old boy.
When a child abuse expert, Dr. Margaret Russell, looked over the boy, she called the Grable police chief and said, there's no way he could have even been playing that day. He has bed sores from being too weak to get up. He's starved to the point of organ failure. His kidneys are damaged. His brain is shrinking. He's discolored. He doesn't respond to pain. His eyes are fixed and dilated, according to court documents.
Police executed a search warrant at Hannon's home February 27th, where they allegedly found methamphetamine pipes and residue and a Tudor straw. And Wyoming will be well represented at the 2024 Western Writers of America Convention in Tulsa, Oklahoma in June, when 3 Cowboy State writers will be given Spur Awards, one of the highest honors for Western writers. Historical fiction writer W. Michael Geer and biography author and Cowboy State Daily contributor Candy Moulton are among the Wyoming winners. The third, Longmire author Craig Johnson, didn't even know he won until Cowboy State Daily's Andrew Rossi called to congratulate him.
So he was giddy as you can imagine to get that news.
And that's today's news. Get your free digital subscription to Wyoming's only statewide newspaper by hitting the subscribe button on CowboyStateDaily.com. I'm Wendy Corr for Cowboy State Daily.